That was my first canvassing. I'm not even a voter here in America, but I've lived here for 10 years. I'm a resident alien. I pay my taxes here. I'm dependent on the politics that influence and shapes this country. And I decided I go out and do something for the candidates that I think will get it into the right direction. In the first place, when it stood Obama versus Hillary, I was reluctant to think favorably of a candidate who was for the war in Iraq, because when the war started, to me as a German, it was very clear that it was very wrong and also foolish to start this war. And very few people at this time understood this in America. I have turned into a canvasser for Obama. Generally, Americans have a fear of government or a resentment of government. They don't want government to look into their lives and govern their lives naturally. So one example is the uninsured motorist. Because government is not able to ensure that whoever is on the road is insured, you have to pay an extra $50 or $100 every 6 months to insure yourself against those uninsured motorists. The reason this cannot be handled is because you are not required to register your abode here in this country. And this is part of the perceived freedom of an American, that he can live where he wants and he does not have to register with the authorities. But in reality, everybody, your bank, your insurer, everybody who wants to know goes to the internet and can find out where you live. Just the government cannot.
The universal health care in Germany, the healthcare system is so that everybody has to have health insurance. If you're working, you have to have it through your employer. If you aren't working, you had a state health insurance. You could upgrade your health insurance, but the health insurance itself would cover your basic needs. And you had very good health care there. There was absolutely no question. You didn't have waiting lines or anything else. There was it was an excellent system.
In Germany especially, people expect a lot from their government because they are being used to the government providing all this, and they say, why should I do it if I pay my taxes and the government can do it? So that's the downside.
So when someone says to you, Obama's a socialist, how do you respond to that?
That's ridiculous. That's truly ridiculous, because what is wrong about being socially minded, which he is, of having a conscience about how people are doing on different levels of wealth or poverty? Nothing can be wrong with this. Socialism as an ism is something that doesn't exist in America, even as a thought, because it would never prosper here. And it has never prospered here. It hasn't even prospered in Germany too much. So that's a totally misleading label.
It's a pretty scary situation there. Whoever jumps in is jumping into a ball of fire.
His race specifically is an issue. And it's unfortunate. I hate to see that. I hate to hear it. I wish that it wasn't that way, but I think it is.
There's a quality about him that is exceptional, and I think that's why it has overcome race, because if he doesn't win, it will be race.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely think so.
Nobody talks about that anymore.
Nobody's allowed to. Nobody's allowed to. But, you know, I would like to think that I'm not prejudiced. I don't think there is a white person in this country that doesn't harbor some prejudice, or we'd all be married to black people. Or our kids would, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think there's a black person in this country that doesn't harbor.
Right. I agree.
We all have certain
I agree, but they are operating from a lesser than position and always have.
I mean, I've heard, like, getting assassinated. I hope that would never happen, but I don't know. I think it's going to be bad either way, whoever wins. Because if Barack gets elected, then I feel like there's going to be a lot of bad things because people say he's black. But I feel like if McCain gets elected, that people are going to go in like another depression because so many people want to change.
Everybody's forgetting about the terrorism that's hit this country. And I think John McCain's a better man to handle that.
Wouldn't you want a leader that other people look up to and are willing to sit down at the table with and have a discussion with? You know, because that's the only way we're going to progress.
I'm a little nervous about Sarah Palin being vice president. I like Barack Obama. I think he has things to offer. He was in a tough city in Chicago, and you know, I think both have good points and both have bad points.
The last 8 years, my paycheck's gotten a lot smaller than it used to be, and I want the troops home yesterday. We had no business going there, and I want them back home.
Basically, what I try to do is to find individuals that have the most truth in what they're saying, and it's difficult sometimes to dig that out. But I think with effort and the internet, YouTube and things like this, if you're careful, that you can find truth. And I generally vote for the person who lies the least.
So who are you going to vote for?
McCain.
It's yours, come on, take it back, let me hear you, man. Ohio, I've got 2 words for you. 2 days.